And
Welcome to our first show of the year.
hello. Happy New Year, everybody.
A reminder that Christmas was just here.
Yes.
Yeah. Christmas, Hanukkah, Orthodox Christmas,
Mm-hmm.
a whole slew of holidays.
Yes. We celebrated all week with everybody. I'm so happy to had the beginning of the year with 10 people. That's my highlight, I will say, to start the year like that anytime.
No,
So
What happened?
what's new in your lives? How'd you guys start your year?
we hosted a by invite only pen event.
Ooh.
It was fun. So Couture Pens Shannon came up for the weekend. Hello, Julia.
Hey,
And
Julia.
Elizabeth. Hello. You were here for like all of yesterday's live, Elizabeth. I can't believe you're back for round 2, honestly. I'm still exhausted from yesterday.
Oh my goodness.
So we held an invite-only pen event. Kari was here. Shannon was here. We had a great time. There was big talk that we were going to film stuff. I don't think we filmed anything.
Sometimes you just need your own time. So
We played with a lot of pens. We played with a lot of inks. We just had fun. And I think that's what we all needed. And then we got snowed in. And so Shannon was stuck here for another day. And lots of good food. That was great.
Oh my God, that was amazing. Yeah. I've never seen, let me tell you, I live in Canada, but it never snowed this amount of snow at the same time forever. Like, let's say we had winter storms like that, but I never thought I was going to get caught somewhere else that is not my home with that amount of snow.
And you never thought you'd wake up one day to find 2.5 feet of snow on your vehicle? It's an experience.
Let me tell you, my back's still remembering the showing.
So we have since then had another, I want to say 6 to 8 inches of snow. Like
No, more.
Oh yeah, no, we've had more snow. And Mom and I, we ran an errand today, and like as soon as we were 20 minutes away from the house, like around the house, no snowstorm. 20 minutes away from the house, it was like, oh, we are in a blizzard.
In a blizzard, yeah. Actually, the snow is coming this way, so today we had a lot of snow. But I like the snow in your place. That was huge. But anyways, it was so much fun. I felt welcome at your place. Stay like your family is awesome. I love Shannon. She's my new sister.
We had so much fun this weekend. And then got straight into the week with Coffee and Pens yesterday. That was a 3 and a bit hour episode that Marina joined in on with Claire.
By the way, so much fun.
Yeah, you were in the chat for that. That was so much fun.
We became a meme.
We did become a meme. That is a first. I did send it to you. I went, huh? I have reached a new level of influencer, apparently. I have now become a meme.
I missed it.
Oh, it felt like an accomplishment in like a weird way. And 20 questions started again. It kicked off with Drew Brown, which I knew people were going to like. And I underestimated how much they were going to like it, which seems to be my go-to line. Yeah. I knew people were going to like Drew. Everyone likes Drew.
Everyone wants justice for Drew. You know, that's how it feels.
that is sort of how it feels. But the fun thing is, like, I now know who he was interviewing for. I know who he got the job with. At the time, he went, "Can we push this a week? I'm interviewing." And then he went, "I can't tell you who I have a job with, but I have a job." And like that just suddenly brings a whole different energy to an interview like that, when you know that, like, oh, he's going somewhere again. Like he's staying in the pen world.
Yeah.
And it was so much fun.
Yeah.
And people love it. So if you've watched it, thank you.
Level.
Yes.
10 people.
I believe my favorite comment on that video, let me go find it. Where's the video? You guys
I
can
really love Drew. I think the episode was fantastic. And yeah,
it's just hit over 8,000 views. So
fantastic.
apparently many people like it. I believe somebody called it the redemption arc they needed for 2025.
Yeah.
And somebody else referred to it as way to fall up in life.
I did read up on some comments, and it was very interesting how, I guess we, like, in our circle, right, three of us, we kind of talked about it. And my assumption is, I guess, very kind of bubble like, because I was like, well, everyone is like kind of cut up on that, right? He definitely was fired.
Yeah, it was on our show. It broke on our show on the 11th is when Farney's made the announcement, and suddenly it was like happening in our chat. Oh, Drew Brown has a job, and I am rapidly texting Drew going, hey, before we talk about this, is it true?
Yeah. And then there are some people who are like still confused, in your comments about it. And I was like, how did you not know? Well, like, fair enough. Some people are like just like so upset that they're like, we're not following this anymore. We just want the best for him. So they didn't look through like the whole drama.
Yes. This is the redemption arc I needed to start 2025 is my favorite comment. And I believe an underliked comment on the video. It brought me great joy when I read it.
By the way, for the people that don't know, Drew has
Julia,
a new YouTube channel. So Drew is putting up some videos that are not pen related, which is super awesome because he can actually talk about something else. And I really like the advice that he's giving to kids. I'm actually taking notes for the years. These are great advice for our children. As a mom, I think it's great. Anyway,
no, I'm loving his non-pen videos, and so is Mom.
Yeah.
But it was so much fun to get to sit down with him and talk about pens in a very different way.
Yeah. By the way, Maddie is writing about the weather in Minnesota being similar to the weather we have here.
But there's no snow. Yeah.
Then Julia says that Shannon is so much fun. I agree with Julia.
Yeah. So what have you two been up to? My life has been consumed by comments on the Drew video for the past 3 days. What have you two been doing?
What are you up to, Kari?
Okay,
I told you guys when you were together before Shannon arrived. So like we caught up a little bit.
Yeah.
But not that much. So tell more.
Well, I have a lot of stuff going on. I'm going back to work. My classes starts very soon, so I've been prepping for my semester and teaching. I have my meetings, I have my work, so that's kind of taking over. And I've been doing some art for the Philippine show. I'm creating my postcard. So this one is, I'm actually doing that right now on my other desk. I'm going to Philadelphia Pen Show. I went to Alexandra's place. We met. Then we had so much fun with Shannon, exchanging washi tape and stickers. I've been creating. I've been taking this vacation time for myself and for my art and for my journaling. I wanted to start the year with a new journal, with new ideas, with new things. But again, time's consumed, work full time is not easy, but I do my best. I think the best thing I have is this podcast. Sorry, it's night.
Yeah, you're tired.
And reviving my YouTube channel little by little, creating some vlog style videos that I have here at the office. I open the camera and just talk about something that I have there. So not new about that, but new for you.
You do any New Year's resolutions or not?
just continue recovering from my injuries, starting my work. I think the New Year resolution is to eat healthy. That's my New Year. Change my nutritional habits. That's top level. And
Yeah.
buy less pens.
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of, yeah, I'm at that point in my life again too. Gotta eat something different. Yeah, I feel like my New Year's resolution is, I guess it's connected to the pens and just like refining my collection a little bit more. I don't know, like talking about the weather, I don't know if you guys are up to date, but like Los Angeles has been crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been like devastated. Several of my friends live there, and one friend lost her house. They moved in 2 weeks ago.
No.
And now this house is like burned to the ground.
Yeah.
So these things make me think, when you have, and like, again, living in California, this is unfortunately our life. Like, you got to think about these things. And kind of for me, it's also kind of reignited this, all right, if I am in that situation and they had like 2 hours, I guess, to evacuate the neighborhood, is like, what is it that I'm going to take with me,
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of also thinking about, like, of course I have a lot of pens and some I am kind of reselling and some I'm keeping. And the whole idea for me is like, okay, but like, how do I feel about each and every pen and which ones am I keeping? And it's not in the number, but it's in the quality.
Yeah.
And what it means for me specifically. So I guess for me is like, that's my resolution. I was like, I'm gonna refine my collection a little more.
Yeah. I have to do the same.
Quality
over quantity.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's quite easy to get quite a large pen collection fast.
Yeah. I know. I know. Don't tell me. Yeah, because years after year, I was like, oh, I want to please everybody and I want to get one pen from each maker, one pen from each brand, one pen. But then you get one pen and then you get the second pen from the same brand. And then you want to kind of go to every friend you have and purchase a pen from them, but you end up with hundreds of pens.
Yeah.
I love to use all my pens. I use them all really, really often. I rotate them so much. But I think I need to love more my pens. I want to give them the priority that they deserve. And at the same time, quality over quantity. I think quality is what I want to reach at this point. I want to get more flex nibs, more gold nibs, tune nibs by pen meisters, things like that.
Well, I think like getting nibs tuned, but also like having spare nibs you can swap into a pen is like one of my best pieces of advice. Like, if you're not sure about pens, like I think it was Jonathan Brooks who said it in his 20 questions episode, get something that fits a Yovo size 6. You can get those nibs everywhere. And you can get you can buy specialty grinds off the shelf from companies like Esterbrook for those nibs.
Yeah.
So like, I'm reaching for those pens so much more. I'm actually reaching for anything that I can swap the nibs in and out of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that was like my thought. We talked, I think, last time, how I was like, I love my Esterbrook's, but I think if I can swap out, refine to those best bodies that I like the most, and keep those and just swap out.
Yeah.
I think calling it a picky era is totally fair. And yeah,
Julia is totally
okay. So Julia, you showed it in your 20 questions episode, but I think you need to do a full like video on your channel about your nib storage solution, because it's fantastic and I think more people need to see it. Because in 20 questions, people only saw a very small peek of it, and I saw more of it because you showed it to me off camera, or off of the episode. But it's a fantastic nib storage solution, and I think you should talk about it.
Yeah,
I would like to see it.
video idea.
Video idea for somebody else's
Yeah.
channel. Great. I look forward to watching it. Yeah, but also like I find that the more I explore my friends' pen collections, the more I refine my own pen collections and figure out what I like. I don't think I would have bought a Mont Blanc for Christmas for myself had I not had hands-on experience with friends' Mont Blanc pens. I think it's really hard, especially when you sort of get out of like the $150 pen range, to buy a pen if you haven't had hands-on experience with it. And the only real way you can get a whole bunch of hands-on experience with a pen like that is if you've got friends that own those pens.
Yeah.
Or you go to a shop probably, right?
Yeah.
Or have a pen club that you're in. Yeah, and then you can make that informed decision, and it's gonna just pay off so much more.
Yeah. Like the News and Estabrooks are expensive if you don't know that you're gonna like how they feel in your hand.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the price point of all the brands went up lately. I think it's related to the economy. It is related to the competition that they have. But I think the prices went up really, really high compared to previous years. When I started collecting, some brands' prices were really affordable, and now they are already overpassing the $300 kind of level.
Yeah. What I found interesting was that even with the exchange right now, it seems to be a lot cheaper to buy from. In the past, it's always been cheaper to buy from US brands. It's always been cheaper to buy from Atlas or from Goldspot. That currently does not seem to be the case.
Yeah, I think
buying from Toronto Pen Shop, buying from Wonder Pens, all seem to have better prices in the past few weeks than buying from anywhere in the US.
Yeah, I agree. But well, most of the people that connect, they come from the US, so they have a different price. But in Canada, the exchange price is kind of in a gap lately.
Yeah.
So get better prices in the country without having to order outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Are we predicting like general prices are gonna go up this year for like
So
gold nib or
Pilot
nib and pen?
I think there were 6 or 7 brands that yes, our dollar is killing us, Shannon. I think it's $1.50 per Canadian dollar for a single dollar of US cash currently, which is, when I went to the Chicago Pen Show last year, it was $1.40.
Yeah.
Or $1.41.
Well, guys, I'm going to Chile, so if you want me, I can do the math. And I go and I check prices and I compare from previous years. I can have an update when we meet.
Yeah.
Well, when we meet on the 22nd, you'll have an update for us on just how bad it is compared to previous years. Price-wise, there were 6 brands highlighted in Goldspot's email about the price increase on Jan 1st. I wouldn't be surprised if there were more coming. I don't know that there'll be a huge increase in gold nibs. The price of gold hasn't changed all that much in the past little bit. But I think anything that's imported is going to have a big price increase. And you're probably going to see that especially in brands that are made in the US but using foreign parts.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yovo nibs, I suspect, are not going to be $20 a nib in 6 months.
Coming from Europe.
Yeah, If you're looking to stock up on your Yovo nib selection,
Yeah.
I would do it in the next couple weeks.
It's going to be the time. So I'm happy to go to Philly because I know for sure I will get pens. I don't know what pen I'm going to get, but I save money because during Christmas I didn't get any pen just because going to Philly to get me a pen. I just need to shop a little bit and see what I get. In my brain, I want to get some vintage pens, but then after there are so many new products coming out and I don't know. I'm torn.
Yeah,
I'm asking for help. What do you think?
well, again,
Vintage or modern? Vintage or modern?
depends what you feel like. I'm a big fan of vintage, and I love modern as well. Like 2 of the 5 pens I got for Christmas were vintage, but 3 of them are secondhand. Like, I'm a big fan of vintage. I'm a big fan of secondhand. I think some of the best deals you find at a pen show are buying secondhand.
Mm-hmm.
But it all depends on what you feel like adding. Like, you've got, am I allowed to talk about what's in your collection?
Oh yeah.
Or okay, like you've got a huge selection of Benus. You've got a whole bunch of Esterbrook Estes. Vintage stuff is fun. Like, you've got some fun vintage stuff.
Yeah.
So really, you could add. I think you could probably add pretty much anything to your collection.
Yeah. I have been collecting for years, so that means that I got the chance to try all sorts of pens and get all sorts of pens and get rid of some pens that I didn't like and get new pens. But I'm at the point that all the pens I have I love, and I got them all for a reason.
I think you need to do one of those collection videos of like going through the pens in your collection. Potentially just like by brand, because you have so many absolutely stunning Benu pens.
I have them here.
Yeah. But you showed up here with them all inked, and it was a great time.
That's so cool. It was a messy business, but let me tell you, it was fun to bring all of them inked. They are on display right now because I want to bring some of those ones to the Philippine show, and I want to use some of those ones for my setup. I'm filming some journaling videos with inks and pens, and I'm using that pen. Shannon, you saw some of my pens.
It is such a good collection. Like,
Yeah. I have a little bit of everything. I think I started collecting Italian pens at the beginning because I love Italian design and I love Italian pens. But then I moved to German pens and Cavecos and Lamis and other pens. And then one of my friends says, you have a Benu type of personality. And that's when I got my first Benu. And then I am hooked. I think it matches me. The sparkly.
Yeah, the sparkly. And there's so many, like, Benu makes such good sparkly pens. You can get so many good maker sparkly pens.
Oh yeah, I love makeup pen too.
I know.
Because they're sparkly.
Yeah, I think that's one of my resolutions. Support more of like the maker pens.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
For every brand pen I get a maker's pen. Well,
which I love.
Now, if I have to spend the same amount of money, and then I will say, pen makers struggle. They do 10 at a time. They don't have a big production. They compete with the big brands. I think we need more support to the pen maker.
And I also am like going back to our conversation about price increase. Like, I am honestly concerned how they're going to get affected by it.
Yeah.
Because, they are so much smaller.
Yeah. Do you have the Benu bubblegum, Kari?
No, I don't. I have other similar to those ones. What happened is like the new Benu released so many pens in the last period of time. They were like special edition for some retailers.
There was the
And
Endless did like 4 special
yeah,
editions. Gold Spot did 2 this year.
so I was like behind all those releases, but I'm looking for something that has a meaning. So, for example, the last Venus that I got were hand painted, and I think that's the way to go. But I still love the core products like the Euphoria vodka on the rocks, the Euphoria bourbon. I want to get all the drinks, all of them.
I love the bourbon one. So pretty. Going back to your point on makers, many conversations were had this weekend at this house. One of them was about commissioning pens versus buying them off of the website. Turns out there tends to be a pretty big price increase. When a pen maker knows that they're going to have a buyer for a pen, you can save quite a lot. So if you know what blank you want and who you want to make your pen, get in touch. You might save significantly more than what's on the website. Because if they know that they don't have to do the work of photography, taking the pictures and listing it and having that inventory, they might take a huge percentage off the top.
I want to get a nib holder, that the one similar to the one you have. Actually, that blank is so beautiful.
So
that one.
I don't want to out her, but I believe Shannon has ordered this nib holder. I believe while she was here, there were many conversations going on with River City Pen Company.
Yeah.
And I believe one we made him. We got yes. She says yep. We got Rich to track down this person's order because I bought this secondhand, and he tracked down her order. He figured out what blank it was. He figured out who made the blank, and Shannon has now ordered one.
That's so
because it's so pretty.
I love pen nib holders because I write a lot with calligraphy ink, and when I'm doing art, most of the time, because I don't want to ink with permanent ink any pen, I use the dip nib. So I have this one. Oops. I just stepped on my
disaster.
So this one, did you see this one? This one was made by Darren.
You know, it's a Timber and Elegance.
Yeah, so it's super long, which I like. You know that I like my wand collection. I have several wands because why not? I am a witch.
Or a conductor.
Both.
You can be both.
Both. More a witch than the conductor. But the one you have is significantly shorter. So I want a shorter one.
So this is the 4.5-inch contoured nib. I don't know which size Shannon's ordered. She's in the comments. She might pop in. I think she was debating between the mini and the slim.
Yeah, I want a mini because in my art kit, I want to fit everything.
Yeah, but it's such a pretty blank, and it's called Mermaid.
There is a question for me there on in the comment about the Beno.
Yeah, you've already answered it.
Oh, you already answered. Okay.
You've already answered it. Yeah, and Julia loves the advice about commissioning pens. Apparently, it was honestly something I had not considered until we were having, again, Shannon and Kari were here, and we were trying to track down that blank, and
I want to have something in a material that will be super girly and super sparkly. I already have a black nib holder. I already have some wood nib holders.
I'll send you the one that I'll send you the other one that I sent to Rich as this is what I want in a pen someday.
Is the second blank that I saw?
It is the second blank you saw.
Okay. Yeah, I'm torn between the two, but I think
yes, that's yes, because they are It's so fabulous. It's so fabulously
fabulous.
girly.
It has the perfect blend between magenta, purple, pink, glitter.
It's so
It's
pretty.
so pretty. Right on my alley, I think.
And well,
Very nice.
he'll be in Philly. You'll get to try out all his nip holders and decide what you like.
Yeah, I'm going to go. So Philly, I'm excited about Philadelphia. Is anybody going to Philadelphia in the comments? Like, I would like to know. Aside from Shannon.
Shannon has just outed herself that she is going to Philly, which you and I knew. But she wasn't telling anyone.
So I'm
okay.
to go on Friday. So I'm setting up with Tasha on Friday morning.
Yeah.
I will be working for them during the day. And then I always have special postcards that I give away at the table that are exclusive postcards for them. So if you go to Tasha and you buy anything, maybe a bottle of ink, you get a postcard from the Philippine show art that I will do. So that's something that excites me because I want to help out with the brand, but at the same time, I want to help myself to the friends and give some postcards. Sorry, I received a message.
How many are you going to this year? How many shows?
So my plan is to start with Philly. The next ones I'm booked are the Montreal Pen Show, the Chicago Pen Show, Stationery Show in Toronto. Actually, Stationery Show comes first. Then I go to May, Chicago right after, and then I go to Montreal. Well, Montreal is right close to my city. Then I'm going to DC Pen Show. And I don't think I'm going to Baltimore. My wish was to go to Baltimore, but I haven't found a way to work there. So for me, it's like half and half. I would like to work because, the economy, working, things gets better and more accessible for me to get pens. And the last one I'm going to go is probably Ohio. It's going to be my first time going to Ohio. I want to go because of the purpose that some of my friends from the Indiana Pen Club are going, and I want to book ahead of time. That's my dream, and I'm going to go. That's it.
Nice.
That's it. And no more. Oh, if they do Stationery Fest in Brooklyn, I will go. So that's something I would like to go.
Julia's looking for a San Francisco roommate. If
Ooh.
people are going to San Francisco,
I am, but I'm not gonna do hotel.
But if you did hotel, if you split a room with Julia this year, you would not miss the event.
Yeah, I'll think about it. Maybe that's maybe that's better than commute.
San Francisco show, it's in August. Is that right?
Yeah.
So it's back to back from a DC Pen show.
Is it this late for DC this year?
DC is the beginning. So it's DC Sidewalk Sale and then San Francisco at the end of the month, and then it's Orlando the first weekend in September.
Okay.
It's like every weekend in August there's a pen show.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's too much.
That's a lot.
But
yeah.
My dream is to go to San Francisco. I think it's one of the top shows that I would love to attend. It's right at the beginning of my semester, and I cannot miss the first week of classes. I cannot miss. It's complicated.
Yeah. Oh, would love to have you.
Oh my God.
How close is it to the beginning of your year?
It's actually, I start my semester in mid-August, and the first 2 weeks is fundamental. Like, no, I can't. It's my
Aw.
birthday weekend. We need to
Woohoo!
celebrate with Canon. Uh, Birthday party for the family and for the friends. That's so cool. Yeah, San Francisco is in my top list. Why? Because I love journaling, because I love stationery so much. And from all the pen shows in the circuit, except for the stationery shows, it's the only one that offer what I'm looking for, which is washi tape, stickers, stamps, uh, stationery supplies, I don't know, traveler's journal.
There's going to be a party at Airbnb in San Francisco. So
People won't even make it to the pen show. Nobody will make it out of the Airbnb.
Yeah, if somebody takes me, I go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um.
take me.
Yeah.
All right.
Me too.
All right, guys. Question to those chatting up in the chat. Anything you guys want to see from us this
This year.
year?
Any-
Anyone you would like us to invite? Any specific conversations you would like us to have?
Any topics
Yeah.
you want us to put on?
Yes. Type
Um,
away.
My
So-
receiving.
Kari didn't get pens for Christmas. You and I got pens for the holidays. Do we want to talk about
Show
those?
me.
You've seen mine.
I know, but I would like to see it again.
Okay. Marina, do you want to go first?
Oh, I don't have any Christmas pens. I'm like already ready with all of my Christmas background. I'm ready for Valentine's Day. So like I don't have any Christmas pens on me. I'm sorry.
Do you want to talk about what you got?
Oh, I can tell you. I can't show you, but I can
That's
tell
fine.
you, sure.
All right, right.
So I got myself my first Pilot Vanishing Point, and that is the Silver Stripes.
Mm.
And there is a video on my channel if you haven't seen it. So my husband was cursing a little. He's like, this is super reflective because like when I film, it's like the lamp. So he was like, oh, you shouldn't do that. But it's a blinding pen, let me tell you. It is what it is. So I got that one, and then I got the journaler nib in a Cobalt SD.
Oh,
So
Nice pen.
that's what I got. Yes.
very
It's
nice.
so pretty. And I think it's
Yeah.
already sold out.
Yeah, I think they took it off because it was a limited time deal. I think.
Yeah, so it's a re-release of I think Liz and Justin said it was a re-release of an original Esterbrook color, and it was a very limited run.
Okay. I love that resin so much. I already have the Nouveau Blue, which is slightly lighter. And I like
It looks totally different than the Nouveau Blue.
Yeah. I saw it. It's really, really cool.
Yeah.
And then I got something I yet had to unbox, and I
Oh.
did that yesterday. That's from
You
Santini.
did. You
So I
did.
have to unbox that. That's my second Santini pen.
Mm.
Santini, I adore Santini.
They're nice. I do think they will also raise their prices a little bit
Yeah.
because I've looked previous years and like I see little increases.
They already have a big price tag, same as Scribo Feel, same as Scribo. Italian pens are expensive, especially those two brands that work with gold nibs.
Yeah.
I'll make
Yeah.
that's what she says joke, but size matters in that sense. So two of their cheapest models have exactly the same nibs as the bigger ones, except for the number 8. If you want number 8, that's a different thing. But they're two of the
Huge.
cheaper ones. They're a little smaller, so I guess that's why they're cheaper and they're not numbered. But it's exactly the same nib, and I find them to be much more affordable than a gold nib Leonardo, for example.
Yeah.
So
Well, I think I will continue buying steel nib. I appreciate gold nibs very, very much, but for the price and the fact that I bring all my pens to school, that's something that sure that if I break the nib, and I will be able to replace it without feeling guilty about it. Yeah, still nib. I have a very heavy. Uh, I like feedback sometimes. Depending if I'm not trying my calligraphy skills, and I'm just on the go and I need to take note really, really fast. I'm working or I'm in the middle of meetings. I like feedback. So I write fast and I press a lot against the page. So that's something that I like. And Santini, I adore. They do their own nibs in-house. That's a top tier for me of making beautiful pens.
Yeah, it's very artisan. I very much appreciate that so much. Ooh, I got a question. What Santinis do I have?
Ooh, Marina.
I have the cheapest. But I love them. The thing is that their cheapest ones also happen to be the ones that I appreciate visually the most.
Okay.
So they remind me of 1920s, and it's the Toscana. Toscana is the only one that has the converter.
Okay.
So no other model of theirs has a converter. Everything else is piston fill.
Yeah.
And then I just got the Unica, and Unica are all, I think, ebonite, because I'm an ebonite kind of.
Yeah.
So I
but
like that.
He will ask you, Giovanni will ask you if you like plastic or ebonite, and you can have the choice to have ebonite fit.
Yeah. Everything except for the cheapest, which is Toscana. Toscana only comes with the plastic. Yeah. But I think it's worth it. I mean, the thing is, if I have to compare, you guys know I'm a huge fan of Stipula, and Stipula has its own problems too. But they're literally only one model that I'm familiar with that they have has ebonite feed. So for me, it's not a deal breaker at all.
Yeah.
Plastic feed, if I can save up money, plastic feed. They also have lots of promotions going, usually for Santini. They just had 15 off, and you can select the model that's already discounted and apply that extra discount. And it's just
sweet.
It might not be a colorway that is super awesome, but it's going to be a great pen anyway. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I have to say that every time I wrote with the Santini, before buying my Santini, I was like, oh my God, I need a pen like this one. I was like, oh, it's so unaffordable. But then they came to the DC Pen Show for the first time 2 years ago. And I spoke with the owner and I was like, can I try the pens? And I tried different models and I was like, oh, I need this pen. And he gave me a great price. It was an entry pen that they offer. So it's a smaller, even though it has the piston filler, it's a smaller nib. And the resin is not like the other ones that they have.
Is that a Libra? I would assume Libra, right?
Yeah, Libra.
Yeah, that's one of their entries. So the ones I have is actually, because some fountain pen pendulum is asking, how do you like the size, right?
Yeah.
So for me, I like smaller pens, and I will have a video and opening. That's why I'm keeping this like this, because I'm going to do a video. And I'm going to compare it to my existing pen and then Kaweco. It will be bigger than Kaweco, but it will be smaller than the one that you have, Kari.
Right.
But for me, that's what I was looking for, because I do not need that humongous pen,
Yeah.
All right. Before we get into my pens, this is an interesting topic. I would say most of the nib work I get done is for specialty grinds that aren't available off the shelf. It's hard to get an extra fine or a fine. The only person that sells them off the shelf turned into a stub is Esterbrook. Lots of people get architect nibs ground. There are so many really fun nib grinds. And I can also tell you that from trying to get Nibmeisters on 20 questions, everybody says, I'll do it with you at a pen show, and nobody will film them virtually.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd love to have Gina over. She's
Yeah.
also in California. And who was it in Annabelle?
Yeah.
Annabelle.
I'd
Yeah.
love to have Annabelle on.
Yeah.
So what, I tend to get mini stubs and oblique cursive italic smooths.
Yeah.
What do you get done, Kari?
I like broad names, so I
Yeah.
make them grounded, a little bit squarey, so still kind of a round tip. But if you tilt the nib to the side, you will get a line. So there is one grind that I adore, and for me, that's the top grind from all the broad nib pens that I have. Is the Tanto nib, which is made by Pen Ram.
Okay.
And then I got at the beginning I got some nibs tuned, not grinded, tuned. But then I've been writing with fountain pens almost forever.
Yeah.
And I can do my own work on my own pens. So that's something that I'm not afraid of doing.
Yeah, I would say
I'm so interested in that.
the only nibs that I don't get mom to floss for me are things that are harder to replace.
Yeah.
So I paid to have my Leonardo elastic fine. I paid to get Matthew to work on it at Chicago last year.
Mm-hmm.
Because I knew there was something up with it, but I also knew it was further outside of my skill set than what mom could handle.
Yeah.
But there are lots of things that can be fixed just with flossing. What is a mini stub? A mini stub is when you turn a fine or an extra fine into a stub nib. So it's a very, very tiny stub nib. I don't have one
And that's
currently.
nib that they have a Esterbrook nib.
Yeah.
I don't know the one doing that nib. Is it Pen Realm also?
Yeah, so it's Pen Realm, and you can get it from Kirk on any pen.
Yeah.
And I have if I could find it, I have the Matthew Chen version of that nib on a Pelican, which was an extra fine.
Oh, very.
I can't write with a stub. I rotate too much. Mini stubs make my handwriting look so pretty.
Yeah, I agree.
Like my lovely Visconti might become a mini stub.
Hey, that's a good choice.
Because it's just such a fun grind, and I think it would look really good with this pen.
Yeah, I'm really happy to write with the broad nib. That's it. I'm not a difficult person.
No.
Stab and broad are my favorite nibs, and I don't need much. I just only need that the pen flows, so it has to keep up with the writing. And I write often, and pages of comments, corrections, whatever it is that I'm doing. And if it doesn't keep up with the writing and the speed of the writing, I'm not happy. So it has to be juicy and smooth. That's my point.
Yeah, I feel like I'm similar to Elizabeth. It's in the way, and it's not like I haven't considered, getting any grinds. For me, it's like a problem solving and not a necessity, if that makes sense. Like if something is not working for me, yes. But most of my pens, except for the one I have on hand right now, they're great. Some are like, I want to be worked on.
Mm-hmm.
But that's kind of like it. I don't actively seek it out, but maybe I will after I actually have something, like I get hooked after I have some stuff done. But that's also how I first found out about Gina, because she was like my closest nib grinder. And I have a couple of stipulas that I love. And one of them is just so run down at this point because I got it secondhand and it's like vintage in the first place. So I already got it a little scratchy, I guess. But it works fine with some inks. But now most inks is just like on the scratchy side. So I was like, I want to send it to someone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I have a $65 nib grind for Coeco Sports because I have 8 of them and Mom has 3 of them. And I think it was Julia, she's still in the chat, that said we were talking about it after her 20 questions because I had a nib appointment booked and I didn't know what I was getting done. And it was like I was talking about pens that I did not love using, but like sort of made sense because they were at like a price point that it justified getting nib work done.
Yeah.
Whereas at this point, I will get nib work done on cheaper nibs because they fit into pens I use all the time.
Yeah.
The Pelican nib work was done to fix a problem. Gary gave me the pen. It was secondhand. I adored it. The nib was absolutely destroyed. It needed something. The tines were on top of each other. Like it needed actual work to be fixed. But it's a fantastic pen now. I would rather get nib work done to fall back in love with a pen, especially when you can swap nibs in so many pens. And like, so if you do decide after nib work that you still hate the pen or that it's not working for you, you can always sell the pen nibless, which lots of people do, and keep the pen you've got custom work done too.
Yeah. I think some people, they say, oh, I cannot afford a good pen, but buying a cheaper pen and having a nib meister work on that nib makes your writing experience completely to the next level. Sometimes you get a pen that costs $30. Let's say you got a Caveco and you're writing with it and it's not writing the way you like. And so you're like, oh, I have to buy a more expensive pen. No, you don't have to buy a more expensive pen. Maybe you were unlucky out of the box to get not a good writer. But if you go to a nib meister or get it tuned, like a little flossing or a little H shape, kind of smoothing the tip, that was what it needed.
Yeah.
And that's it. Have a great writer. It doesn't have to be expensive pen.
No. Like it sort of felt ridiculous at the time to get a $70 grind on a Coeco Sport nib, but I use the pen. The nib fits in so many pens. I love it, and I use it all the time. So like it wasn't ridiculous because it makes the experience of writing with the pen so much better.
I'm guilty to pay a nib grind in a more expensive pen that you pay a lot of thing, and then you pay more because it doesn't write well, I prefer to do a nib grind on a cheaper pen that I know that, oh, right, if something goes wrong, it's okay. But a more expensive pen, they are supposed to write fantastically well out of the box without any tuning. That's what I think. But
but I also think like sometimes the grind that you like, you might not be able to purchase off the shelf. I know so many people love needle points, and you really can't buy those off the shelf.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I do like a needle point for my artwork and cross shading and hatching technique, but I think I wouldn't do for writing.
I'm about to sell mine, but mine is also flexible and like specialty grind.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, you know which one? The one that I mentioned, the 20 questions.
Yeah.
The Spencerian one. So I love that pen so dearly. It's an original Amos. It's extremely beautiful. It has nice story behind it, but it's just, it's one of those things. It's so beautiful, but it just doesn't get used by me.
Yeah. Do you have a collection video, Marina?
Well, I am working on my hen turn pen collection video right now.
Ooh.
But I'm assuming the question is because she has love for stipulus as well. I've seen a couple of videos and she has an Etruria that is very beautiful. So
and she's got a great 2024 collection video. I am like in the process of filming mine, but it has not happened yet. Expect it like end of the month. Yeah. Last year I had it out
I have to see the pen collection video of anybody.
last year I had it out at the end of December, and this year I was really, really sick, and so expect it by the end of the month.
Yeah, I'm starting with hand turned because it's so much easier than doing the other one. So
Yeah, I would have one for hand turned. It would be
Uh,
really easy.
yep, I think I saw another question. Yay.
Yeah, don't, yeah, yeah,
All right.
that's fair.
I think we should try and get someone over
We should.
from the Nipmeisters. I'll try and talk maybe to someone. You know what? I have not sent anything to her just because her waiting time was extremely long.
Apparently, she does like pop-ups at bookstores. I was talking to somebody recently in the San Diego area
oh,
for 20 questions, and he was talking about how absolutely spoiled he is because she does pop-ups all the time that he just goes to, and I was like, what is this life?
Good for them.
that's so fun. Every time I go to the Wonder Pen store or there is an event at Toronto Pen Store, there is a Meister there with a huge lineup and appointments, and I'm like, oh, I missed it.
When Matthew is in town for Scriptus doing appointments at Toronto at Wonder Pens, my alarm is set. They released them 15 minutes late this year, and I've never been so stressed that like something has happened for whatever reason. It just hasn't loaded on my page, and like they're all going to sell out before I get a spot. Like, it is utterly ridiculous.
I guess I had some internet trouble. Sorry about that.
All right. Yeah, she says exactly. She wants to see your Santinis and stipulas.
Oh, I have one video when I'm showing a couple of my stipulas. There is like a gemstone collection they did. So I have a video on unboxing a new old stock pen and briefly showing the other ones I have from that collection.
Oh, okay.
Welcome to check that out.
Well, pens, there were many pens. We seem to, other than Cara, we all got pens, but you're going to a pen show in like a week and a half. I don't feel bad for you.
Well, I got a pen.
Did you get a pen?
Oh,
you did. You raided my pen collection.
Which one is it?
This is going to be for me.
Which colorway is it?
It's a pink one that I don't have.
It's Billowing Blush, so it's May's pen, and Kari never got the May package.
Aww.
And I just have them set aside because I can't get the caps off of them. And Kari has like the whole rainbow, so she took home May with her.
Yeah.
So I've heard a lot of things about their pens. A lot of people complain they're not very comfortable. How do you guys?
Okay, because the pen you wanted to take home was like $250. Priority, Shannon.
So some people would say, oh, this plastic feels cheap, or this, whatever it is, the cap doesn't open really easily, which I do. That the cap doesn't
One
open
second.
easy,
Where's what Shannon wanted to
you don't have any idea how I treat this type of pen.
I'll be back.
So I toss this pen inside of a pencil case and I bring it to work without any leave or without anything. It's just the pen inside the pencil case. Like if you see my pencil case right here, like there, I have a parallel. Look at this.
Yeah, same.
I have a platinum preppy. So
and listen, some pens are not.
They end here, and I don't feel guilty that I'm using the pen and the pen is not properly stored. It's not that I don't care about the pen. It's because I love the pen so much that I bring it with me all the time. And I do have a pen pouch that will be only for fountain pens, ink that goes in my purse. But if I have to get access really, really quick to a pen, and I don't like writing with ballpoint pens sometimes. I want to write with a fountain pen, and I don't want to feel guilty to bring my pens to work. And people might say, but you teach, you probably have a desk and you probably have, like, no. If they know what I teach and they know my setup, that pencil case is on the floor next to the class folder. So yeah.
So again, Shannon was a bit upset that I wouldn't let her take home what she wanted from the collection. Kari, you know what she wanted to take home.
Well, Kari was there first, so.
But also, Kari wanted to take home something reasonable. Kari also then rated my watercolor palette.
Oh, by the way, I need to show you. Okay, finish the conversation. I will show you.
And Shannon is arguing that she was going to pay. Shannon wanted to take home the Leonardo Belladinote.
Aww.
And so I have promised her that if I do decide to ever sell it, she will get first dibs.
Okay. The same with the Beno pens.
You want first dibs on the Benus? All right. Nice to know my pen collection's already being pieced up. Oh, hey, my pen.
Hey. That's so great. So I went to Alexandra's, and the least I did was to do pen talk or pen try. Well, I did write a little bit. I did try pens. I did most of it watercolor art with Sheila. And I went and declutter Alexandra's watercolor collection, and I clutter myself with watercolor color.
I would say we didn't declutter so much as I had a mental breakdown on the floor.
Oh, that's good. That's good looting.
This is kind of like a storage system that I have for now because I need to reorganize. So I have here are some Kuretake pigment. Well, 3 of those ones are the ones that I got from Alexandra. Yeah. She gave me this beautiful little thingy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I used to have that one too.
Sorry. This one.
Again, this was Alexandra sitting on the floor having a mental breakdown as she culled her palette and then priced it. Somehow we all managed to be spendy. Well, we're just not talking about that, Shannon.
Look at this one. So the last one is the one that I created with a mix of colors that I like. It's kind of like on the earthy tones.
Yeah.
Anyways, I came back with no money, but I didn't pay you yet, all of it. So I was like,
you're paying me in installments.
This I'm taking. Anyways, I'm really happy that I did that because I already created a lot of art with those pens, and I was happy to use the sparkly pigment. Oh, where is it?
And while you're on it, I'm working on some of my watercolor Valentine's Day stuff. This is from actually the previous year. Oh, I'm like so bad at showing what's going on. There we go. So this was actually my previous year. So what I usually do, I pick out my previous years, like I kind of swatch them, and then I'm like, hey, what should I do? What should I go with for this year? So that's what I'm doing currently on the topic of watercolors.
And I got watercolor from Marina too.
Oh
yes, that's shipped to her house. I need to update the shipping though. But yes.
So I'm reaching watercolor.
You are pretty.
Your collection is growing by rating our collections.
Well, the good thing is that I don't have to blend colors now and mix.
That's true.
I am painting out of the palette without thinking. It's just the color is there already.
Mom would like it known that she does not like my Mont Blanc.
That's for fountain pen.
Oh.
Pendulum.
Oh,
she asked, and cool. I realized that's what I have on me. I have one of the Etrurias.
Oh, that's pretty.
But I have to make a video on it because this is not like the other ones, and I like this the least.
Mm.
So
Yes.
aside from the pens that we didn't get during Christmas or whatever, what are you enjoying this week? What do you have on your desk that you're enjoying? Is there any product or anything that you say, oh, this week this is my go-to pen or my go-to item?
So what I just showed, it's not like a go-to, it's like the process items for me. So both are like testing phase.
Yeah.
So, there you go.
What nib is on the pen?
Oh, it's supposed to be their 14K, so like one of whatever they call elastic, I think.
Oh,
That's medium. Yeah, it is medium.
a medium
But
deck.
the one big thing I don't like about this pen, and I don't have like the regulars on me, they airbrush the whole thing.
Oh.
All of this is a fake silver. It's all airbrushed.
Oh,
So it's tacky. I'm
Oh,
sorry,
yeah.
but it's a little tacky. And their first version that they released like 7 years ago, I think, for this version of Etruria has actual silver stuff on it.
Oh,
But this
okay.
one's
oh.
airbrush. So that's what I don't like the most.
Shannon wants to know what our predictions are for 2025. I'm going to take this as like for both our pen collections and for like the pen market in general.
Right. I don't know. You want positive? You want doom and gloom?
Well, honestly, it could be all of the above on this show.
Yeah,
I
would
don't like.
say,
I don't think it'll all be positive.
yeah, the prediction is that even though I go with the budget, I will be over budget at Philly.
Yeah.
I shouldn't, but I know for certain that I will overpass my budget.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying the smart buy. It's not a low buy, it's a smart buy.
I like that.
Smarter buy?
Yeah.
So let's go it that way. Yeah, I mean, like, definitely gonna buy more pens. I think we all are. I don't think anyone's like really stopping.
Yeah.
But I do think
Fountain Pendulum's comment was, I predict we'll buy more pens.
Yeah. But I think people might be a little bit more picky.
Yeah,
Oh.
I agree on that.
I think we're already seeing an increase. I don't know if you guys follow the page on Instagram that posts sales listings on pens. There's been a big uptick in the past couple days.
Tell
Like
us more.
there's always an uptick after the holidays, but it seems extreme this year.
Mm.
I suspect you'll start to see a lot of people offloading parts of their collections.
Yeah.
People might have bought a lot, over the past years.
Like together, I think when some people went into the hobby trying to get as many pens as they could, or they went hooked with all the promotions and everything. I think that's the issue. But yeah, I think people should actually start using more the pens, and I would love for the fountain pen community to get more workshops on writing with fountain pens or meetings writing with fountain pens. I think the good stuff about my area is that even though I'm not too close to Ottawa, there is a meeting once a month, and they meet with the Ottawa Fountain Pen Society to do some talk about pens and writing, I think that's nice to have, and write more and journaling more with fountain pens. I cannot hear you.
Yep.
It's off.
Aw.
My mic died.
Uh,
Sorry about that. Apparently, I used it for 20 questions yesterday, and I didn't charge it.
Yeah, I just saw Alex.
Yeah, I'm deciding the
Same.
comments can hash that out. Because Phantom Pendulum just asked what happens on the 20th. Comments can
Listen,
hash this out.
that's why I got the Santini.
Yeah. I'm just letting the comments deal with themselves there. It's like, I think it's important to remember that a $30 nib, like if you're not in love with the pen, buying a replacement nib can totally change the writing experience of a pen.
Mm-hmm.
I put stub nibs in Mom's Kaweco Sports. They don't come off the shelf with stub nibs. You have to buy the stub nib separately. But for her, that is a very small price upgrade that totally changes how much she loves a pen.
Yeah.
If you are not actively in love with a pen, sometimes a really small change like that, like switching a nib,
Change. Yeah.
can totally change your experience with a pen.
Nibs are super important. Another important thing is paper. So
Yeah.
if you're writing with fountain pens, paper is an important upgrade that everybody should have. Like writing it on top on good paper makes your writing experience completely mind-blowing, I would say.
Yeah.
You-
You're more obsessive about paper than I am. I am of the opinion that a pen needs to work for your lifestyle, and so you should have a pen that works on the paper that you write on most often.
yeah.
But I think we're definitely going to see more people just switching out nibs and pens versus buying a whole new pen.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do agree with that one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You've been in this hobby for like at least 2 years. I think by now you've discovered that, a nib, you can change a nib, or you can improve experience by just doing something with the nib,
Co-chair Pens Shannon wonders if we're going to see more store exclusives. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Because Kaweco has stopped doing store exclusives.
Mm-hmm.
And though they did a whole bunch of them at a lower price point that I think lots of us bought store exclusives at.
But I think they will stop doing store exclusive in American continent, or they stop
everywhere. They've stopped all store exclusives apparently.
Wow.
There are no more Kaweco store exclusives. As of what I was told 2 days ago, they're done. And so there's no more store exclusive in that like $30 to $40 budget range for a pen. And so I think you're definitely going to see more store exclusives. I'm also wondering if you're going to see limits lowered on store exclusives. Lots of brands have a minimum for how many pens they have to order for a store exclusive. And I'm wondering if that minimum is going to drop. Who was talking about this? What pen store just closed? Anderson Pens.
Yeah. Oh, they had a very interesting last
Anderson
episode.
had a great video on this about the increase in the number of units they had to order from Sailor over the years.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Are we talking about prices going up?
Yes. Hello.
Yes, sort of. We're talking about somebody asked what our predictions were for the pen world for 2025.
About the price.
And so it's a mix of prices and like the fact that we think we'll see people starting to downsize their pen collections, especially people that got into it really hard and heavy during COVID. I think you're going to start to see those people start to downsize collections more.
Yeah.
We've seen that. Alexandra and I have seen that in watercolor community.
Yeah, and it's real. I would say that has picked up in the past.
In the past 2 years, I would say, in watercolor.
Yeah.
Well, but during COVID, it was everybody has to stay inside. Everybody was trying kind of to get to do some kind of analog type of work, or they connected online and they started seeing this type of trends like analog hobbies like typewriters, fountain pens, journaling, and then they became trendy and people got into the hobby really, really quick and fast.
Yeah.
I don't believe any of those will die out. I don't believe watercolors or fountain pens are going to go anywhere. I think it's just like slowing down a little.
Yeah.
I also, my personal opinion is that with, so much kind of AI and so many things being like not manual anymore, people want that manual more. So I think it's just kind of, it's going to stay. It's just maybe not going to be through the roof the way it was.
So to answer this question, which is mainly coming from the Anderson pen video, so Sailor and several other brands used to allow split runs. So you could order, if you were doing a run of a limited edition color, you could do it as a mix of Pro Gears and 1911s and King of Pens. Like you could mix it up to get to that limit.
Okay.
And now that limit is significantly higher. And I don't believe, based on the Anderson pen video, they offer that mixing of multiple lines. Like you have to order all of the same color and size. And I think, yes, it's true that it could go the other way and they could increase limits, but I think they're probably going to decrease the number of limit of every individual color because stores won't be. I think Anderson Pen said they had to do 200 of each colorway for a limited edition run, and that's a lot of pens
for the retail business.
I think there's also another thing, and I'm gonna speculate, but I've seen this in in other industries, and that is connected to pigments, and colors and stuff. I think the companies are also might be struggling.
Yeah.
Find some resin to find specific colors. We just don't hear about it. We don't know about it because they're not obligated to release that information.
But like pigment prices have gone up by what? Almost 100% in 18 months, at least.
And cobalt is like the most notorious. A lot of times it's just like very unpredictable.
Yeah.
So
thing to think about. What I like about the trend, let's say, if they put it to the amount of pens that the distributors will get, they will have less variety, I guess.
Yeah, I think if we don't see like the limit go down for the number of minimum that a store needs to order, I think we'll see less store exclusives next year.
Okay.
Yeah. It's well, I don't know, should I? It's not an announcement, but I'm hoping to have a collaboration with a pen maker. So
ooh,
in the future.
That's a good news.
That's fun.
I'm not gonna turn my own pens, so that's why I'm
I have no interest in turning my own pens, but if a pen maker wants to release a collection, there are a few very great pediatric cancer charities that I think could use the money.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so fascinating to see people turning pens. I sometimes connect in the Instagram live to see the people turning the pens. It's so satisfying to see all the threads of the material coming out of the turning table.
What's the purpose of a store exclusive? I would say that they can do limited run batches of resin. So I know
for both.
Yeah, and so the Bella de Notte was what, 170? Yeah, 170 pens. And it's not a maker Leonardo normally works with. This is not a blank Leonardo would normally make. I bet Leonardo knew that Goldspot was taking it when they commissioned it, though I don't know that for sure. I have a Sailor store exclusive from Fountain Pen Hospital. This one's much more basic, but they're just oftentimes colors that you don't always see.
So, for example, Cabeco, over the years, they did pen exclusive with many brands. So,
Yeah.
for Cold Pens, they did this beautiful purple pen that says Cold Pens. Then they did a transparent purple for Gold Spot. Then they did the yellow metallic aluminum for the Dutch Pen Show. They are pens that you cannot get anywhere but the store they are working with. So that runs for a limited amount of time. And then once all these pens are bought, there is no more stock
Yeah.
for ones, but you
Well,
can
here's an idea.
anywhere.
Why
It's
don't we have a store owner on the show and ask all of these questions?
Oh, that would be great.
The one store exclusive that works a different way is Benu does do open editions with stores.
Okay.
Because this one's an open edition. Pink Champagne is an open edition. Both of these are available from Gold Spot, and they've got a whole bunch of exclusives with the other pen store that starts with a G that are open editions. They've got some with Atlas, and the way Benu does do limited edition store exclusives, like the Phoenix they did with Gold Spot, but with the open editions, as long as the pen is selling, Benu will keep making them for the store.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a nice thing. Yeah, but it's only exclusive for that distributor place. So that's something that I like, because you will support the store, and because you want the pen, you're going to go buy from that retailer. Yeah. Otherwise,
Forces people to buy from independents, really.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think, oh God, I think it's also so different because, I see a lot of also much smaller kind of stores having these type of collaborations. And I feel like it's very different from the big stores in that sense, because if it's like smaller store and an independent pen maker, I think they both benefit.
Mm-hmm.
While in the big store case, I mean, in a way they both benefit, but I think the store might be benefiting a little more just because they're getting that exclusive, and they kind of, the purpose is to draw the customer to that one specific store, right?
Yeah.
But they also collaborate with like bigger established brands.
Yeah.
Like Heinz has, I think, 2 or 3 pen models that you can only buy at Atlas. You can't buy them on the Heinz website. You can't buy them from Heinz at a pen show. You can only buy them from Atlas.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's the case for the Atlas, the Benu that Atlas released.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can only get from Atlas.
Yeah. But with Heinz, like Benu is a much bigger company than Heinz.
Yeah.
Heinz, I think right now is a team of 3.
Oh.
This is just a fun comment. My dream job would be to be an ink color namer. As somebody that gets to it in the watercolor world,
I love that.
So much fun.
I remember when you get an ink from Schaefer or from other traditional, let's say, and there's like the top cap, it says it's a blue green, or it's a black green, or something like that. That's the color. There is no name on it, just the cap, the color of the cap, and then the kind of like the color shade. Anyways, now there are so many names, and some of the names not related to the color that you're seeing.
Oh, like I have so many inks that are the names have no relation to the color, but then I have things like sidewalk gum from Atlas, where it's a gray with pink glitter in it to be the gum on the sidewalk, and it's like, I don't know why you felt like this needed to be your store exclusive ink for the sidewalk sale, but it's funny.
Well, but for example, there is a collection, Wearingold release, or Van Diemen's. They release so many inks a year and collections of inks. Mm-hmm. And they put, for example, the writers, and you will have the name. Well, Diamine also does the same thing. The name of the, let's say there is a music artist or a writer, in the case of Wearingle, it doesn't make sense, the color. Like, I don't know. I don't imagine Jane Austen being that color. I don't know.
Oh, Detrimentus has Jane Austen. And I think it was either purple or pink. And I was like, well, that is definitely what I think most people imagine.
So I've thought about like doing that, like buying the Jane Austen from every brand and doing
You should.
it because
Good.
it isn't Wearingle sparkly. It's
Yeah.
like
Verangle had a Great Gatsby, I think, ink too.
Oh, okay.
And it was very different.
Yeah. So the Atramentis has a Jane Austen ink that I got years ago, probably in 2016. I don't know. And that ink is green. And it's called Jane Austen.
Mm-hmm.
And there is an ink, a calligraphy ink, black ink, called Jane Austen, that I have some samples from a friend.
Sorry. Wearingle does not offer Jane Austen. Wearingle offers Pride and Prejudice.
There you go.
Which is, if you've got Colorverse Andromeda, it is that color. It is not.
Anyways,
Okay.
I really like the idea of having different names because you can easily identify the color when you're seeing it. But now I struggle to remember my own name and then the ink name. And I have hundreds of inks. And when I was inking the pens to go to your house, I put so many shimmer inks so we can have fun inks in my pens. But then you ask, what is the color in here? And I have to go back to the little notebook because I couldn't read what I put in that pen.
I agree about this. I was really like, I did not like the Mont Blanc Great Gatsby color. It felt wrong.
Oh,
I mean, it could have been worse.
It could have been way worse.
old.
Okay. Great Gatsby, pre-brain injury, one of my favorite books. And
Yeah.
I just like felt like it was the wrong ink color, because had it been a color that I felt was more the book, I would have gotten the ink. Mom thinks the Jane Austen from Mont Blanc is the wrong color.
Well, I have thoughts on that because I think, to be fair, Oak Gall is the ink that was used at those times, and she used. And I'm like, that's the one I guess you should go with if you want to like have that accuracy. But it's everything but.
And the thing is, Mont Blanc normally does a fairly good job. They're not the best at matching ink colors to boxes, but for a brand that doesn't offer swatches, their boxes tend to match pretty well.
So
The ink is not that color. The ink is every color under the sun but that color.
Yeah, I know your mom
What
just
is
said
that
it shouldn't be mud.
see,
No, Oak Gall is not mud either, but
Like,
they
that-
decided to go that route.
That's
oh, it's not.
It's so
is
purple.
It is an odd one, but also because they decided. So I wonder if it's lost in translation because everything is usually in German, I think, right?
Everything is in German. And I think you're right. It's been, but it, like, the color on the box is so deceiving. Whereas for Around the World in 80 Days and for so many others, it's such a good comparison. But I've also had paper. I don't know if you've got Endless Regalia paper. On Endless Regalia paper, it's slate blue.
A complete different.
It's totally different. Pot pink was a lie. See, but you still love
Was
it.
it?
You still put it in one of your pens. It is the prettiest.
Well,
pink.
okay. If you
It
compare
is
that
pretty
and Jane
pink, but
Austen,
not
yeah.
what we imagine.
Like it's that color.
All right. I mean, this seems more true than Jane Austen.
Let's grab the box. It's more true on the Cola Ring Dipper. It's not super true on this paper. On the Cola Ring Dipper, it's very true. Shannon loves what it is. She, to be fair, yesterday during the conversation with Claire, I was trying to figure out what pen I had Pop Pink inked up in and realized I didn't have it inked up. I had put it in Shannon's pen.
Oh.
It was not in one of my pens. I had inked it in Shannon's pen before I'd inked it in my pen.
I need to go back to your house and get those ink samples.
I tried.
I was
Consumed with the washi tape.
doing another type of endeavor.
Yes.
So I am okay with it, but I need to go back then to do some, to take some inks from you, especially those ones, the pink one and the Jane Austen one.
Yeah, it's a good wall of ink. I think I texted you this, Marina. I participated in a very convoluted ink trade in the Canadian Facebook swap.
Well, we talked, I think, with you about it. Yeah.
Where it got to the point that I was trading, instead of how many ink colors are we trading, it was how many milliliters of ink are we trading.
Oh, I filled the inks to the top unless somebody else gave me the ink, and then I used as much as I could, but then I gave the rest away. I have smaller vials though.
Yeah,
so
I have the 5 milliliter vials. But it was, I think in the end we traded like 87 milliliters of ink. Like it was absurd. But I'm like trying to do the math for this, and while I'm doing all this math, I'm texting Marina going, next time I say I want to trade somebody for a whole bunch of inks, remind me that like I don't like math, because it was absolutely ridiculous. I don't know what ink I put it in. I put it in your pink Decimo. Your pink ombre Decimo is what it went in.
Oh.
I don't know what it's called. I just know I put it in your pink Decimo.
Yeah. By the way, talking about pink, my week is all pink, and I have some pink pens here that I'm using this week.
Oh, she's right. I did. I inked it in the Bella de Notte. So I did put it in a pen before I inked up Shannon's pen. But also, I like in my Bell pen, I'm going, what pen are you talking about?
You forgot already.
It's not hers yet. I still haven't decided. Like, it's in my collection. I've not decided I'm getting rid of it. It is.
I mean, going back to that comment you displayed by Alex, I think you did charge people. You did charge.
I believe the fee I charged people was you had to drive here yourselves, and you had to have the understanding that I was not a morning person.
I slept so.
Yeah, like I think everyone had a great time.
Yeah.
Super fun. Yet we have graduated. Shannon, I will find you one. I will find someone getting rid of theirs.
Yeah.
I know you've told me what you're willing to pay for it. I will find you one. I will find out of the other 169 pens in existence, I will find someone who wants to get rid of theirs. I promise.
That pen is too precious. I don't think people will get rid of that pen really easily.
Yeah, so I've only seen one for sale, and it was a very long time ago.
I get this before Shannon.
That is my life.
That's cool.
I'm just gonna let him fight it out in the comments.
Oh yeah.
Like it's
you know what's going to happen.
Really, the inside does not capture how stunning this pen is.
Yeah. I think that pen, if I go again to your house, will disappear.
See, and it is. I have a thing about not getting two pens in the same resin.
Okay.
Well, would you get one if you really, really like the resin?
If
I know some people are crazy about primary manipulation. It can really look differently.
yeah, if she decided to sell those blanks, I might buy one and get it shipped to Shannon's P.O. box without even having a pen maker lined up for it. They're
Yeah.
not for sale. She hasn't sold them since Leonardo did the collection. But if they went up for sale, they are so stunning, and they looked. There were some that were so much more purple than this. There were some that were looked like mine. It's so stunning, and I think if she offered them for sale, I would buy one without having a pen maker lined up for it.
Well, the good stuff is that some people will bring blanks to the pen show.
Yeah.
And you can see the blank. You cannot know what is inside the blank because the blank side has a different color and it still has this border, like they didn't turn yet. So you don't know what is the color inside, but at least you can get to choose the color. You can get a whole blank.
It's an experience. I have this one. My first one I've ever made was about 2 years ago, and it was the ebonite. That can look very different because it wasn't just monotone. It was like the ones with like swirls inside, and that was a gamble, but it was fun. I think it's worth it. If you could just choose yours and just because the pen maker also kind of keeps you in the loop, with every single step. And it's just a lot of fun.
Oh yeah. But it's
a gamble.
It's a gamble. And I find there are very few blanks that have sparked as, or even hand turned pens. I have one and I utterly adore it. And there are other Heinz blanks and pens that I really, really like. And I actually, both of my Navelers, Naveler Horizons, are pens made with the blanks that Elise makes, and she does all the Heinz blanks. But there are very few blanks I love as much as that Leonardo blank. And it's Stormwind Blanks. She offers so many blanks. And as far as I can tell, she made it specially for this pen, and she didn't offer it for sale, or if it was offered for sale, it was offered for sale before Leonardo did their collab. And it is one of those pens that I love it.
Yeah, what I regret at this moment is to, Leonardo has a special edition pens that released for the DC Pen Show.
Yeah.
So last DC Pen Show, there was Clarissa's limited edition, the Dragon Red.
Yeah.
And
that one.
The red combination. I don't know what is the maker of the resin. The previous year was Bob Dupra's resin, which was really fantastic. It was Ocean Cenote or something Cenote. That's the color. Beautiful. I regret not getting the year Clarissa's pen last year at Leonardo's table. I got a Leonardo, but I didn't get that one. I think if they re-release that pen, I will get it because it's red, it's sparkly, it's beautiful. It has this kind of like a wavy shade with a darker red and a red. Beautiful.
King of the Night.
Oh, the King of the Night.
Mm-hmm.
I like. Similar to Leonardo.
Nice. It is. And Rich from River City Pen Company has somehow managed to get his hands on blanks from their first, he hasn't told me who made them, blanks from the first round of testing. Oh, apparently it's a Jonathan Brooks resin. And has the original blank that then became King of the Night.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also
it's really pretty. It seems risky to buy a resin pen without seeing it in person first. It is, but then
But that specific one still is, I feel like, less of a gamble. Sure, it's a little different than their Sweet Dreams.
Yeah, Sweet
That
Dreams
one is
was
different.
a much bigger gamble. I think the Ferris wheel press one was a big gamble. And really, I think as long as you're buying in a color palette you like,
Yeah.
There was no way that this was going to be ugly. It's pink, it's purple, it's blue, it's clear.
Yeah.
It's not going to be ugly. But I think with primary manipulations, it's blank I love. It's a design I love. It's something I hope to own one day, but it is definitely not something you can buy without having it in person.
I've heard from a bunch of people. I think Lori was one of them, and someone else on YouTube. One of the last things that I think Diamond Cast wasn't with something else that Scribo did.
Yeah.
A lot of people were so unhappy that apparently it was this, they feel deceived. They didn't get, I think, brown. It ended up more of a blue pen than a brown pen or something like that.
Yeah, that happened, for example, when you see a pen maker's pen display on the website, and then you see the pen in person, and then you're like, oh, I thought it was going to be different. And I have sometimes great surprises that I'm glad that I saw it in person, because I liked it more in person. But the other way around also happened to me, that I didn't end up liking to see the pen in person. Well, it's not like I didn't like it. It's not like it appeared in the website.
Yeah. So I recently went back and I was rewatching a couple old episodes of 20 Questions just to make sure all the links were okay. And I got to the Jonathan Brooks episode, and I'm looking at all the rods on the table, and I realized that one of them is the rod that became the Dutch pen show Leonardo pen.
Oh.
And it's just sitting on the table, and then he's also got a test pen in it sitting on the table, and I'm like, I remember looking at it and thinking about how pretty it was, and not knowing that a month later
it was going to be there.
It was going to be the Leonardo Dutch pen show pen.
Yeah, Leonardo actually have some private clients that will turn pens for them with a blank that they will bring, but those type of job, I think they're super special and
Claire Coco
up in price.
Claire, I think, has dropped off 4 blanks at Leonardo.
I imagine. That's why
we discussed it on the first episode of Desk Chatter. Not Desk Chatter, Coffee and Pens.
Yes.
But I bet she would come to the Desk Chatter too.
I bet you all would have to send her a text with a link and go, here you go.
We need to have Sarah here.
We do.
Chatter.
We do.
It has to be.
Yes. Because I think she dropped off 4 when they were there. It was either 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Because she picked up some rods with him in person at, was it San Francisco? Wherever she last worked Tasha, that Leonardo was there.
Oh, okay.
She was working Leonardo at San Francisco.
Leonardo, I think.
And so they went rod shopping at the pen show.
I want that.
She then brought stuff with her to Italy to drop it off. And I'm listening to this going, okay. Yeah.
The fascinating trip that you can go when you visit a pen maker like Leonardo, and you go to the workshop and see the magic happening. That's, for me, would be a dream. And then being in Italy, Italy is just a dream trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody wishes they had snagged the Leonardo in Golden Rule, which I don't know what that looks like.
No, I don't know.
Yeah, there are a couple older ones that I popped up, and I was like, all right, I'm interested if I can get them.
That is pretty.
I don't know.
Yeah, me neither. You'll have to share with us.
Maybe if you put it in. No, there is no way to attach pictures in the comments.
No, I have to drop it as a link in the chat, and I don't know how that works. We're gonna find out.
If
Oh,
we can all take a look at it.
Let's
Oh,
check.
you can see it.
Yay! All right, everyone. We can take a look.
Yes. Oh,
All right. Oh, I've seen it. Yeah.
it's a beautiful.
It is.
Oh, so beautiful. Yeah. Very nice.
All right, guys. So would we like to wrap up what we talked about today? We got some nice ideas for the future, for the year.
Yes. So we have some people coming over.
We do.
We have some challenges that we are going to do with some people.
Yeah, I have to tell you, like, you know how much snow we have. I've not been outside sketching. I'm gonna sketch from Google Maps.
Just sketch inside. I always say say
It's-
outside, but you don't have to. It literally is whatever is on your desk.
I'm sketching inside out of memory. So I've been doing some ink and watercolor exploration in my sketchbook right after I came back because I was excited with my new watercolors and mixing up a little bit of the ink. And I've been experimenting with countryside kind of drawings and forest. Some of those ones very, very summery, some more, I would say, spring. But yeah, we will see what it looks like when we do it live.
Yeah, and the next one will be 22nd.
Yep, 22nd, and I believe we have guests.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Claire. Claire, we were just talking about you. How many
Hi.
did
We
you
were
drop
late for you there too.
we were debating how long it would take you to join if we sent you a link. How many pens did you drop off at Leonardo, or blanks did you drop off at Leonardo? I thought it was 3, maybe 4, but I'm willing to be wrong.
Yeah.
Because Kari was talking about people that can drop off blanks at Leonardo, and I said, like, Claire.
So
So we threw you under the bus there.
some people.
Some people.
Very nice. Well, I am really, really excited to get some people, some important pen influencers in our desk chat and do some challenges. Maybe the people in the comments can suggest any idea for any other challenge that we could do. We talk about sketching. We talk about using watercolor inks. What other challenge would you like us to do? That's maybe some people have ideas.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
Everyone's saying hi to Claire.
Yay.
Yeah. Well, I've just done the math, including yesterday's with Claire. I have now been live for nearly 5 hours over a day and a half.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is that too much, Marina and I?
It's a doozy.
At what point is it too much of our faces on the internet, Marina?
I think it's a good thing we get along, so we still have to talk about.
Yes, the fact that we could talk about inks for 3 hours yesterday and do a 2-hour show tonight is impressive.
Yep.
Impressive. By the way, guys, I want to clap to you, bravo, for the great episode you put yesterday. I was working and listening to the chat, and then it was fun. It was super interesting. I actually got to know your taste in inks, which was fantastic. And then I took note of some of the inks that I don't have that I would love to have out of those choices that you offered yesterday. For the people that didn't connect yesterday, I know it's a long episode, but it's really, really great if you don't have ideas on ink colors that could be everybody's taste because you guys have different tastes, but at the same time,
we did have some crosses, which was awesome. I like.
And much like this show, it is available on YouTube podcasts. So
There you go.
I believe if you've got YouTube Music, you can download an episode and listen to it while you're on the go. You do not have to watch us for 3 hours. Claire is artfully dodging the question of how many blanks she dropped off, just saying that they were lovely people and she had a great time, which is totally fair. Episode 1 of Coffee and Pens was just discussing her Italy trip and all the factories she visited.
Yeah, I should watch that.
So if you wanna hear about all the different factories and all of the various things that she ordered and picked up and all the adventures she and Peter went on, it's a great episode.
That's a great episode. By the way, I have to say that Claire has a group of friends that they were traveling with. I met oh, amazing. Such an experience. I want to be like Claire when I grow up. That's a fun. Sana, me too. I want to go with Claire everywhere.
Yeah. I think Claire should become one of those like art. You've probably seen them, Marina, like the art influencers that organize like watercolor trips to go paint somewhere. I think Claire needs to do that, but like a pen factory tour.
Oh,
go with Claire on a pen factory tour of Italy.
Yeah, I mean that's a legit business idea.
Yeah.
Why not?
We have to ask Claire, what type of challenge would she like to do if we have Claire at the show?
Mm-hmm.
I think with something we discussed earlier today, this could be a very good idea for people and possibly cheaper to get things that way. So why not?
Us all going to Italy to buy cheap pens.
Not very cheap, but I guess fair priced.
Couture pens is in for
all the people that
pasta and pizza.
There we go. Good time.
Yes. Well, Lori and Vanessa are here in 2 weeks.
Yes.
I'm sure we'll have a guest for February's show. And yeah. If you've got topic ideas, leave them in the comments down below because haven't set all the topics for this year yet, so we'll take suggestions.
I would like to do some kind of challenge, I would say, with fountain pens. Who can fill a fountain pen faster?
I think you'd win that, Kari.
No, but imagine, like, we have to I don't know, maybe that's not a good challenge example, but something funny.
We'll get there. We'll come up with something.
All right.
Maybe we'll need Yost to teach us the ways.
Oh, yeah.
Shannon thinks that sounds like a mess waiting to happen. I don't disagree.
I know.
All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for hanging out.
All right.
Thank you so much.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Okay.